Well, 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 my comic book nerds, what have we here? What is this mess? What is this mess? The face of a quitter. Right here. Hi, I quit my 100 Days of Making Comics challenge. And as a matter of fact, my 100 days was supposed to be over the 13th of January. However, I ended my little escapade into the world of 100 Days of Making Comics at the beginning of January. Why? Why did you quit? Karla, you sound just like every other comic book creator out there who is so gung-ho about their project and then they give up. Here's why I gave up. Because I finished my book. I finished it. Now this is issue number 1. This is issue number 1, but I'm going to share with you the proof copy. This is actually proof number 2 of the Harlequin Glass. Okay, so here's issue 1, right? Number 1. And there's number 2. You can see the number right there. I am not blowing smoke up your behind. Issue 2 is done and it's long been finished. And I just wanted to end my 100 days by showing you issue number 2 as opposed to jumping into issue number 3. It just wouldn't have made any sense. So by the time I upload this video, my 3rd proof copy should already be in my claws. But for now, let's chit chat about my 100 days of making comics and how I feel about it. Did I learn anything from doing it? And the answer is, I don't think it was worth it. For me, it wasn't worth it, and I will get into it in a second as to why. Did I learn anything? Yes. Yes, I did. What I learned, and it's something that I had been mentioning here and there throughout the videos of the series as I filmed them and uploaded them, was that I realized really quickly, just immediately just about, that my biggest shortcomings, and I'm not talking creative shortcomings here, I'm not talking about my skill level or my art or whatever it is, but creatively, productivity-wise, my biggest weakness is speed or lack thereof. I'm not as quick of a sketcher, illustrator, inker as I would like to be. And that needs to change, and change immediately if I want to get these books done. Because to be honest with you, I've already been formulating ideas for other books. If I can find another artist to illustrate them for me, that would be ideal. That would be ideal. But I tend to be a little bit more of a baptism by fire, doomsday prophet sort of a creature. So I like to err on the side of caution. I want to think about everything that I want to do, and I want to position myself in a way for myself to be able to do it alone. And if someone comes along that can help out with the burden, fantastic. But I'm not going to bank on that. So if I want to get all of the kooky ideas out of my head and onto paper, girl, you need to work faster. So yeah, me and you. Whoever's watching this, work faster. Work smarter, not harder, as they say. So I've mentioned that I'm going to begin working on smaller paper. That alone is going to greatly expedite the process, I'm hoping. And I'm also going to be experimenting with pens. I'm going to be switching over to not dip pens, but dip style brush pens. I used to think that dip pens were going to be the be-all end-all because I had been illustrating my books with just traditional micron pens, the thin, skinny, uniform tip. And then I thought, I'm going to get a lot more gestural. I'm going to achieve a much more gestural, sketchy look with a dip pen, and it's going to be easier on my wrist because I have tendinitis in this wrist, and I wouldn't say that it's severe, but it could be moderate. And I need to be careful. Again, too many ideas in here, and I would like to get them done, and a busted wrist is not going to allow that to happen. So smaller paper, brush pens, which are going to ultimately not only be quicker, but also easier on my poor dandy little broken wrist. But that's what 100 Days taught me. Work smaller, work faster, work smarter. So it wasn't a complete waste of time. Now, do I think it was worth it for me just to learn those lessons? Debatable. I don't think so, because those are lessons that I knew I needed to learn, they just all seem to come together and culminate while I was working on the 100 days. So why don't I think 100 Days of Comics is worth it for everyone? It's worth it for some, and again, give me a second, I'll get into it. I know already what I'm capable of. I have been creating coloring books, I mean full-blown 25 to 30 page coloring books for several years now, so I know that I am capable of getting a project to the finish line from conception to, I hate saying that word, I mean, the conception part is fun, right? But birthing, not so much. I want to do all the funny business, but I don't want that dirty business at the end. No. I want the fun. I don't want a baby, but I like these babies. So, as it relates to comic book creation, all right, fine. The conception and the birthing is equally fun. I know that I'm capable of doing it. I create coloring books. I've created a coloring or a comic book already. Now, some people out there are probably rolling their eyes, you know, the perfectionists, the proper comic book artists who are anatomically perfect, the genius colorists, all of those people are probably thinking, oh, please, please, this pedestrian indie comic girl who draws as though she's an angsty high schooler scribbling away in her sketchbook. Because to be fair, my book very much resembles my high school sketchbooks, black ink and scratchy lines. But hey, that's the look I was going for. Anyways, they may be rolling their eyes thinking, oh, don't listen to her, she's not the authority on the subject. And no, I am not. I am absolutely in no way, shape, or form an authority on the subject of indie comics. So take what I say with a grain of salt. But I am more or less talking to the people who are in my same boat. The creatives who enjoy comic books or enjoy the idea of embarking on a long-term project and have no idea how to go about it. And they're not interested in the elitism. They're not interested in being the next Jim Lee, okay? They're not interested in that. They just want to create something that's fun for their enjoyment, that their fans, their followers, their whoever, however you want to refer to them as, are going to enjoy. It's just for fun. It's a passion that we enjoy, and that's what it's here for. If you are someone who has never completed a project, a large project, 100 Days of Making Comics challenge may be good for you. It is going to force you to take some accountability for your laziness. Because let's just keep it real. If you cannot sit down every day and at least work on your passion project for 30 minutes, you're lazy. Before you attack me, listen to what I have to say. Anytime that you're on your phone checking your text messages, your social media, playing a game, or if you're on your television watching TV, or again, playing video games, all of those little moments, those little stolen moments, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, a minute throughout the day, those are all going to add up to at least 30 minutes. Your text messages, your TikTok, your Instagram, all of that bullshit is easily at least 30 minutes. So this is an exercise in discipline. So don't give me the excuse of I don't have the time, because you do. And if you can't follow through with 30 minutes a day, that's your problem. No woe is me crybaby nonsense around here. If you're someone who struggles with discipline, but you want to get something done, this challenge is absolutely for you. I would recommend that you set a timer every single day to work on your book. If you're not in the mood for it, if you're just, oh, I'm not in the mood to draw today, those moments are key in pushing you through a project like this. I am not always in the mood to work on my projects. I'm just not. That's just the nature of the beast. You can't be 100% all the time, and that's okay. If you are able to pull through those moments and actually get something done, you're doing things right. You just are. And to be honest, it's in those moments where I feel as though I'm just not in the mood and I'm not feeling it for that day. Sometimes it's those moments that I have a breakthrough. I come up with a new idea that I otherwise would not have come up with. I end up playing with a new technique I otherwise would never have attempted. So it's a good thing. It's just, you have to do it. You just must. Now, if you are someone similar to me, meaning a workaholic who has a fairly decent grasp on discipline, 100 days of making comics is just going to stress you out. So don't even bother. I found myself working on my book several times for multiple hours a day. And I thought, this 30 minutes is stupid. I can sit and work on a comic for hours. I don't need the 30 minutes as a reminder. So it ended up being a little bit of a little naggy poke in my head, little jolt in my side that I didn't need. But again, it's not as though I didn't get anything out of it. I did learn my lessons about speed, about paper size, trying a different pen. So it wasn't for naught. I'm not dismissing the 100 Days of Making Comics challenge. I'm just saying, some of you are going to get something out of it, some of you are not. But it is an ideal challenge for anyone who wants to get something done, because I promise you, 100 days is going to fly by. And when you see yourself progressing day after day, even if it's just a little teeny tiny part of your day, you are going to see that progress, and it is going to encourage and inspire you to keep going. I have no tolerance for laziness, but I have so much respect for dedication and for people who can follow through on what they say. All talk and no action, we don't know her. We don't like her around here. Don't be one of those people. Good luck, my nerds, who are, whether it's a children's book, a novel, a comic book, I don't care what it is. Whatever your creative pursuit is, thank you for joining me on my 100 Days of Making Comics challenge, even though we cut off early, but for good reason. We finished the damn book. Thank you for joining me. Links are going to be down below for my website, for where you can read my comic online, where you can purchase it, all of that good stuff. I hope this lights a little fire under your butt. That's me. That's not me thumbs upping, although I suppose I could be thumbs upping, but it was more or less my trying to emulate a lighter. Okay, so hopefully a fire was lit under your behind to get off of it and to work on something. Although I suppose if you are illustrating, you're sitting on it, whatever. Technicalities. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the journey. I hope that you enjoy my book. Good luck, and I will see you around the internet.
Jumping in to say, the Harlequin Glass issue number 2 is officially for sale on Amazon. You can, of course, click on the links down below to take you directly to Amazon. You can visit my website for links. Everything you need to know will always be down in that description box or on my website. The versions for digital reading on Webtoon and Tapas will be up the first week of February. By the time this video is up, I'm not sure if the digital versions will be live yet, but for sure, February 5th, they are scheduled to go out. So, my scrappy little book, issue number 2, is now available. As I was getting the graphics ready for the website, I already started to formulate a few changes that I want to make for issue number 3. We're already thinking ahead here, but in the world of indie comics, there's no such thing as thinking too early because these things take forever. But in any case, there will be no more 100 Days of Making Comics videos, but I am going to film videos every now and then about my comic book creation process. So stay tuned for those. Thank you for sticking around. Grab your copy on Amazon or read it for free. Yes, completely for free online, and I will catch you in the next one.